Sup YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single upload. Today we're checking out the top 10 best cards from Shrouded Fable. After testing them for a little bit, I actually came to the conclusion that specific cards are excluded from the list and others can definitely be mentioned. Shrouded Fables is a set coming out on the 2nd of August, and that's actually gonna be a set that's gonna be legal for the World Championships for the very first time. So Shrouded Fable is going to see some of the cards at the top tables at the World Championship. So you already need to playtest with these cards already if you want to stand a chance at becoming World Champion over in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'll be attending that event, I'll be vlogging, I'll be traveling, all that good stuff, but I've already played with a couple of these cards, so I have a little bit of an understanding of how they actually will impact the meta. If you haven't checked out my tier list video, definitely do so. It's a tier list prediction for Worlds, and a lot of new decks and updated decks are included into that tier list, so definitely check that out after this video if you haven't already. Before we dive into the top 10, be sure to check out our sponsors. These make the videos possible every single day. DragonShield.com for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. Get 5% off using the coupon ZAPDOS5 or clicking the link down below. There's YourPlaymat.com to create your own unique custom playmat. PotanStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can use the coupon ZAPDOSTCG for 5% off. And there's CardMarket.com for European players to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. With that being said, number 10 here is the Nighttime Academy. This is a cool stadium card that allows you to put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Initially, this was already great to protect yourself from cards like Iono, because Iono will of course put your entire hand, shuffle it and put it down to the bottom of the deck, and then you draw a card, so you can actually put a supporter on top and make sure you don't break after Ionos. Potential Ionos that the opponent could be playing, you could be protecting yourself against that with Nighttime Academy. Other cards that are going to have a great impact with this is Electric Generator. This is going to work out for any deck. Think about future Iron Hands deck or Miraidon decks. Just want to be hitting those generators and are very, very desperately don't want to be whiffing them. Well, with Nighttime Academy, this can actually make sense. You can just put a card you want on top of the deck, and then you use Generator, and if you put an energy on top, you automatically will hit Electric Generator. So that's why I think it deserves its spot here on the number 10 spot. Is it better than something like a Town Store for Forest Sealstone? In my opinion, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because the Forest Sealstone in something like a Miraidon deck can definitely help get yourself into the game, while this one will make sure that you can make sure your generators hit more often. Also, I could see a niche use of this where you can just save a card you don't want to discard with something like a Lugia, for example. Sometimes you have to research or Carmine away some resources, and then with Nighttime Academy you can save a specific card that you don't want in the discard pile, like specifically an energy, so you can research until your heart's content without discarding some important resources here. So Nighttime Academy, number 10 for me. Number 9 is going to be Genesect, the Ace Pack card Canceller. So with this Ace Canceller ability, if this Genesect actually has a tool card attached to it, any Ace Pack could not be played down from your opponent's hand. That means Prime Catcher, Unfair Stamp, Heroescape, you name it, all the powerful Ace Pack cards, even Legacy Energy cannot be put down from the hand. Just be wary that Legacy Energy still can be implemented if it comes from the deck with something like Primal Turbo over an Archeops. So that's why I think Genesect won't be all that important in my opinion. Not only can you of course play something like a Vacuum or a Jamming Tower to just cancel out Genesect so you can then play your Ace Packs once more. Is it going to be strong enough to be implemented in decks? Do you have to worry about making yourself Prime Catcher proof when the opponent still has Boss's Orders in their deck? Are you going to be afraid the opponent's going to slap down an Unfair Stamp when the opponent still has Iono in their deck to just do practically the exact same thing? I don't know. I think it's just wasted bench space as well as deck space in decks. But maybe I could be proven wrong here. Genesect on the number 9 spot. Number 8 is gonna give some new life into United Wings. I know with the Flamigo, with of course the Murkrow and all that good stuff, you now have access to Dartrix, which is also coming back with that United Wings attack. 20 damage for every Pokemon in your discard pile that has the United Wings attack. It's actually 20 times, so that is gonna be very impactful, because now you can hit stuff like, for example, Charizard EX for weakness, which has humongous HP, which in the past past was unheard of to one-shot with something like a United Wings. Not only do you dish out more damage against like basics, 2 prize decks, for example, Miraidon, Roaring Moon, Raging Bolt, etc. When you now have more United Wings, you can dish out more damage in the late game, definitely combined with Ditto, which can copy paste the attack of United Wings. And now with Dartrix, Seawaddle, is it Seawaddle? Wartrol, yeah, Wartrol, Murkrow, as well as Flamigo. You now have a whole arsenal of Pokemon you can put in a discard pile to slap more damage. Not only do you now hit with this deck, hit weakness for, you hit for Darkness weakness with Murkrow. Wartrol will hit the Lightning weakness, and now we have the Grass weakness as well with Dartrix. So we have 3 weaknesses you can hit. You can one-shot Charizards, you can one-shot Lugia V-Stars, and you can one-shot Gardevoir EXs. So will United Wings make its impact? I don't know. I'm still very skeptical on the deck to be just putting it at a high tier deck because of the fact that something like Dragapult EX can still make quick work of these low HP Pokemon. Moving forward, number 7, a new 2-prize beatstick deck with Okidogi EX now coming to town. I actually am going to group in Janine as well. Janine's Secret Technique is going to allow you to accelerate 2 Darkness energies from the deck instantly to 2 of your Pokemon. And if you accelerated an energy to the active, you're also poisoned. So it works really well with the synergy of the crazy chain attack of Okidogi EX. But Janine inherently is not that powerful in my opinion because it doesn't come with draw power. We've seen energy acceleration effects coming over something like Sada, which is great. It accelerates 2 from the discard pile, but also allows you to draw cards. Stuff like Welder did the same thing to, of course, draw cards. Something like Melanie draws cards. Even like the Gardenia currently doesn't see any amount of play, and that even just draws 2 cards. I know this accelerates from the deck like the Janine Secret Technique, but I still think with the 3 energy attack cost that the Okidogi EX comes back with, you need Attach of the Turn, Dark Patch, and Janine. That's way too much to afford. Well, you can just get away with playing Raging Bolt and a simple Sada. So in my opinion, this is outclassed by a Raging Bolt in all effects. You're also weak to fighting, while Raging Bolt is weak to nothing. So if you want to be playing a stage, actually a 2-prize beatstick deck, hop over to Raging Bolt. In my opinion, that's way better. The Crazy Chain Attack, however, is able to one-shot almost anything in the game if you are poisoned, which you can get off with the effect of the Janine Secret Technique. You're actually slapping 260 damage, and it only works if you're poisoned. But you can add that damage up even forward with the Mochi. The Binding Mochi is also a trainer card, a tool card in here that allows you to slap 40 damage additionally if you are poisoned. Again, you see the clear synergy they want to make here with this Okidogi EX deck. You could also play like Binding Mochi and something like a Charizard deck, but in my opinion, it's not going to be that impactful, although the Pecharunt EX, which we're going to be talking about in a minute, also has the synergy to let yourself get poisoned. So if you have that in play, the Dark Patches, time and time again, you don't need more switch outs because you have that Pecharunt EX. There's something like, a basic Darkness package, but you would still need 3 energies. So I don't know. I'm not too high putting this Okidogi in the tier list and stuff. So in my opinion, is a perfect spot here to just mention that we will get a 2-prize beatstick deck. There are way more 2-prize beatstick decks in the form of like Miraidon as well. That's why I think this will not see too much play. Okay, that was number 7. Now let's go to number 6, Xerosic Sheem, and that's actually a super cool card for control players. Like, look at this. Your opponent discards cards from their hand until they have 3 cards in their hand. I could see this being very, very disruptive. Is it better than something like an Unfair Stamp to put them down to 2? Yes, because you can play it at any given point in the game, even if the opponent has not taken any single prize cards. You could be playing this on something like a Snorlax block deck because you do play Palpad, you play Silene, Team Yell's Chair, all that goodies to make sure you can disrupt the opponent time and time again and loop your strategies. With one of these, you can loop that with Palpad and all that stuff. And at one point, let's say you're up against a Lost Box deck that actually has 11 cards in hand. Just play this and they're going to be put down to 3 cards only in hand. You can even combine that afterwards with an Eerie with the important cards that they have remained in hand. Or maybe combine that with the Luxray V to just snipe Fang away another card from their hand. It's going to be super powerful indeed. And Pidgeot Control can also make quite use of this. Maybe in Charizard list or other decks that do have the room for a supporter of these that they don't want to have a draw support. Maybe they're playing Dracloaks. Maybe they have B-Barrel. You don't know. You can actually just get away by playing one of these supporters and put the opponent down to a very, very low hand size. Number, where are we currently? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're at number 5, Pecharunt EX. Brings me some vibes of Caldeo EX, old school, capital EX Caldeo, with Floatstone shenanigans. So you have that rush in ability time and time again. Well, here you have Controlling Change. Once during your turn, you may switch one of your bench Darkness Pokemon, except any Pecharunt EX with your active Pokemon. If you do, the new active Pokemon is now poisoned and you cannot use more than one Controlling Change ability a turn. Build-in switch. Is this the end of Snorlax block? Well, everyone that is playing a Darkness Pokemon in their deck, think about, actually an attacking Darkness Pokemon I might add, think about Charizard EX for example, just a 1-off in your deck and suddenly you auto-win Snorlax block. How cool is that? Charizard typically had a bad matchup against Snorlax block, and now with a 1-card copy, you have built-in switch effects. It also comes back with a powerful attack here, Irritating Burst, 60 damage for every prize card the opponent has taken. So if the opponent has taken 5 prize cards, you're slapping 300 damage, and it does require Darkness energies. But you do see the initial strategy you want to go for here. Okidogi EX, the Controlling Change ability of the Pecharunt EX, and out of nowhere you can slap easy damage. But I think the Okidogi needs way too many energies in order to be a very viable deck. But Pecharunt EX here on the number 5 spot, because it has more options than that. You can make yourself, Snorlax block proof, and also having built-in switch could initiate a whole different mechanic, like coming into play effects where you just attack and just hit and run strategies. You put something like annoying Pokemon like Klefki for example, or Mimikyu in the active, and then when it's time for you to attack once again, Pecharunt fly up to the active, have something like an escape board onto it, retreat it, and attack again. And you see how we go in circles with this, where you hit and run time and time again, where you can just have free retreat, pretty much. Pecharunt EX. Number 4 is going to be Fezandipiti EX. I have playtested this quite a bit in Roaring Moon, and I am pleasantly surprised. This is the spiritual successor to something like an Oricorio GX. I was a very big Blacephalon player back in the day, and I always loved having to draw like extra cards when the opponent knocks something out during their last turn. It is going to be great because you can activate it whenever you feel like. You can just play something like Sawda first or Iono first and just activate it whenever you feel like, and then draw 3 cards. Very nice indeed. Has a retreat cost of 1 and also can sometimes snipe with the 100 damage snipe. I also come to love with the Fezandipiti EX that sometimes I'm up against the Charizard deck and I could actually just use Dark Patch E-Switch combos with my Roaring Moon list to just attack with this instead, and then 100 damage snipe. If they don't slap down Manaphy, you can just get rid of their only attacker. So Fezandipiti, cool attack, and also allows you to draw cards. In other decks, it might also see its usage. Decks that are very Iono weak can make use of Fezandipiti to make sure you draw back up again when you get knocked out. And if you have a very powerful attacker that the opponent has to deal with on the spot, think about a Roaring Moon with 3 energies, and they don't deal with the Roaring Moon and go after Fezandipiti instead, well then you can just simply attack again. So very great card in my opinion, and we'll see play throughout its lifespan for sure. Okay, what else? We're gonna be talking about 3, 2, 1. I think this is number 4, yeah. Number 3 is going to be the Nightly Stretcher. At first I thought this was gonna be a reprint of Rescue Stretcher, which is an incredible recovery card, and this time around it is going to be versatile in the means you can put a Pokemon or a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. This is gonna be great in decks that have very crazy Pokestops shenanigans going around, so you can get like either a basic energy card back or a Pokemon. Something like a Regidraco deck might actually be very fine by using something like this. because you can then go very aggressively with Pokestops and all that good stuff and just get back either an energy, so you can draw back with the Ogerpon in the deck, and or get a Pokemon back like a Regidrago V-Star. Also very great in Raging Bull decks, because not only do you can get a Grass Energy for your Teal Mask to just draw, or you can get a Pokemon back like a Sandy Socks, which sometimes is a one-off. So versatile item card for recovery. Is it better than Super Rods? That is the main question, right? That is something that everyone is wondering, but I think in specific decks, this is actually a very welcome addition. Then number 2, I'm actually going to be grouping 2 Pokemon together. I'm going to be grouping Dusclops and Dusknoir all together here in the number 2 spot, because they are going to be very, very crazy indeed. They can blow themselves up. No, they're not Electrodes, but they feel that way. You can blow up a Dusclops, give the opponent a prize card. But in return, you can put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So, super cool, right? You blow up your Dusclops, you activate cards like, for example, Counter Catcher in your favor. You suddenly dish out more damage with Charizard EX. So, Charizard is going to definitely try out Dusknoir. You could also combine Dusknoir and Dusclops together with something like a Lost Box deck to just have Lost Mine in combination with Dusclops, Dusknoir, and just spread until your heart's content. You do give up prize cards. I'm gonna add that. Make sure that you don't blow most of them up. You can just put the opponent down to 1 prize card, and out of nowhere, I could see this working out even with a Blood Moon Ursaluna, where Blood Moon Ursaluna is suddenly able to attack with just 1 energy. You've spread so much damage counters across the field that you take like a board sweep. That's pretty much where I see this working out. Also, you can sometimes activate it to make sure you can activate Roxanne, activate Counter Catcher. All those good plays can happen with something like this. Dusknoir here does the exact same thing. It blows itself up, but this time around, if you knock it out, your opponent still gets a prize card, but you put 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's a lot of damage counters, might I add. So 13 damage counters, and then the opponent takes a prize card. Suddenly Charizard slaps more damage. Suddenly you can activate Counter Catchers. Your Ionos get more powerful. It's all good with, of course, this situation. So cards like this historically have been banned. Think about Miss Magius, knock yourself out and stuff and do some stuff. The opponent does take prize cards, but then you can put the opponent down to low hand sizes instantly. Imagine a very powerful, I would say, turn 2. Maybe you're playing Hyper Aroma, get 3 Dusclops out instantly, give the opponent 3 prize cards, slap down a Roxanne, you put 5 damage counters wherever you feel like, and swoop away with additional damage counters of a Lost Mine. It's just hypothetically an example, but you could do a lot of stuff with that. Board sweeping is definitely possible. Even though you give your opponent prize cards, it can help to your advantage. And then my obviously number 1 is going to be Kyurem. I've tested Kyurem and it is very strong. If you're up against Lost Box, it's going to be a walk in the park, because you can use its attack for 0 energies, actually for 1 cardless energy. Pretty much 0, right? For 1 cardless energy, you can slap 110 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon, instantly board sweeping them. You might think, oh, I'm going to be playing Manaphy, but sometimes your Manaphy is prized, or your Manaphy gets bossed up first and you're not able to fetch it back. I could see like Counter Catcher Iono, and out of nowhere you cannot like find your Manaphy back, or maybe you're playing Canceling Cologne as well. I could see Kyurem being used in also something like a Hisuian Gudra Lost Zone box deck that already plays Metal Energies, that already plays Water Energies. Double Mirage Gauge attached to the turn, 110 to 3 targets is very great. It's also the new best friend of Regidrago V-Star. So that's why I'm putting it here on my number 1 spot, because an attack like that is very scary and it's game breaking instantly when you're able to successfully get it off. Can you imagine like getting rid of 3 Curlias instantly? That's just super hilarious. Yeah, you need a lot of energies to do so, I know, but with Regidrago V-Star you can get that off, or maybe in the double Mirage Gate attached of turn, it's also a possibility. So will it be the death of Lost Box? I don't know, but these are going to be the most powerful and impactful cards from Shrouded Fables. But now I really want to know your opinion down below. How do you feel about all these powerful cards? Kyurem, Dusknoir, the Nightly Stretcher, Fezandipiti, Pecharunt, Xerosic, Okidogi, Dartrix, Genesect, and Nighttime Academy. Let me know down below what your favorite card from Shrouded Fables is, and I'm also very curious to learn in about 2 months time which card will be the most impactful one when we will see them in action over at the World Championships in Honolulu, Hawaii. Thank you all for watching today's upload. If you enjoyed it, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It only requires 1 tiny second every time, but does help out the channel tremendously. And of course, be sure to check out the sponsors that make the videos possible. Links down below if you want to be purchasing some stuff. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace.